Sport mode is a beast. Holy. Little kids in that Highlander waving at me. That's hilarious. Little kids love the motorcycle. Most of the time. I guess I've met some kids that are terrified. Terrified of the motorcycle. That's a bummer. I usually always ask a kid, if I see a kid and I'm on the motorcycle, I ask them if they want to sit on it. I'll let them sit on it. But very rarely they take me up on it. It's kind of weird. I guess when I was a kid, I was always kind of intimidated too. I mean, you're small and this motorcycle's a big giant thing and you can barely reach the handlebars and you're dangling your feet on a full-size bike at least. And if you don't know the guy, hey, sit on my bike. A little scary, but at least got to introduce them to the motorcycle. So I am totally little kid friendly. I don't have any kids. There might be my own kids in the future, but I have done, I don't know, different things with kids. I kind of grew up in a very large extended family, so there's always kids around of all different ages, and you'd end up babysitting and hanging out with kids. It was fun. Candy shop, Minnesota's largest candy store. That place is crazy. Man, has that place grown. That's nuts. They also happen to have really good pies there. So anyway, I have a cousin who was a preschool teacher in the city near me for a while. And they used to have mystery readers, so I used to do that. Like for a while, I did that on a weekly basis. So it wasn't really much of a mystery anymore since I knew that I would show up weekly, but it was still a lot of fun. I used to love doing that. So you basically show up with a book and then read to the kids. And I would always try to bring something along with it. So one time I read this book. It was a My Pet Monster book, which if you are also a child of the 80s and 90s, you should remember My Pet Monster. So super cool. A good friend of mine still has a My Pet Monster with his cuffs and everything on him. So he let me borrow it and bring the My Pet Monster. So when I read the book, I let the kids, hold the My Pet Monster stuffed animal guy. He was pretty big while we read the book, which was pretty cool. Another thing I did was I would drive something different every time. So there'd always be a part where my cousin would be like, all right, kids, what do you think Justin drove here today? Because I had my old hot rod truck, and then I had like a Buick Riviera, and then I had different motorcycles, that I would ride, and so each time I'd try to switch it up and ride something different. And then when they guessed it, we'd get to go, or after they made their guesses, we'd go outside and then show them whatever I rode. And if it was a motorcycle, we'd talk about it, and I'd talk about the motorcycle and let kids sit on it if they wanted. Or they loved the truck. I mean, all kids loved that truck. That was a pretty funny story. The truck's like lime green with white scallops on it. 1964 Ford F100. And pretty funny, there was, the kids loved the truck. I let them, play in the bed of it, get inside of it. I let them just basically hang out and do whatever. So I was just there for like an hour a week reading books and, playing with the kids a little bit. The parent, I never met the parents because I wasn't like a teacher or anything. So one time, I actually had two funny experiences from that. One time I was driving down through that same city in that truck, and the little kid saw the truck and started waving, and because they knew it was me and knew the truck, and waving and tugging at their parents' arm and like, oh hey, probably saying it was me, and yeah. And the parents were just looking at the kid like, no, we don't know anyone with a truck like that, honey. Knock it off. So I probably looked like a creeper. It's kind of funny. And then it happened again where a kid saw me in a gas station and started shouting my name, and then went and started shouting at their parent, oh, such and such is here, Ton is here, Ton is here, Ton is here. And they're all like, what, who? So it was pretty funny. But yeah, good times. After that, kind of several years after that, actually, I started getting involved with the brother-sister program, which is different from Big Brother, Big Sister. They actually tell you that. So the one I was doing is through the YMCA in my city, and they even make you read a paper and sign a thing, stating that you understand that it is the brother-sister program and it's not affiliated with Big Brother, Big Sister, so it is a separate thing. But anyhow, it's the same principle. You get matched up with the youth and hang out with them. So I actually, really cool thing, I actually started out doing something called school-based mentoring, still through the Y. So instead I would go to the school and just hang out with a kid for an hour over his lunch break, and basically, since it was school-based mentoring, you could only do school-based activities or activities at school. It wasn't anything outside of the school. So got matched up with this boy named Oliver. Man, Oliver was so awesome. Oliver had Asperger's and a little bit of autism. Oh, the kid was just so awesome. We got along so good, just right off the bat we hit it off. Oliver was so cool, such a cool kid. That was some of the best experiences with kids, is when I started getting involved with those programs. Those are so rewarding, working with a family and stuff like that, and it was just awesome. So with Oliver, we had such a fun time doing the school-based mentoring for that year, and both of us were kind of like sad about it coming to an end, and the Y actually gave me an option and said, here you can continue with the school-based mentoring, but we pair you with another kid of the same age group. Or if you want, you can go ahead and move this match over to the brother-sister program. So I opted to do that. And with that, it was a little more involved. To get into the brother-sister program, they actually have you meet with a psychologist and just goes through some questioning. And that was pretty cool. I mean, it was, whenever I tell people that, they kind of they kind of freak out, like, oh my god, I don't think I could do that, which is kind of weird to me. But yeah, it was really not a big deal. The psychologist just basically talk to you about life stuff, what your childhood was like, what your relationship with your parents is like, that sort of thing. And then even after that, you had to sit down with the director of the program and kind of talk about similar stuff, just have a discussion and about life and whatever, Because when you think about it, I think it's a good thing, because they're trusting you to, give guidance to a youth, so not only they, as in the director of the program at the Y, but also like the child's parents and stuff. I mean, I don't know. It's a big deal. If I had kids, I wouldn't want just anybody that can sign up for it. You know, mentoring my kid or whatever. I don't know. If I had a child a part of that program, you know. But so anyhow, I welcomed it. But so yeah, I went ahead and moved to the full-on program with Oliver, and that was so awesome. So that basically turned into at least once a week and hang out for, you know, a few hours or whatever, more than just an hour once a week kind of thing. And then it was up to, you know, whatever you decided, with whatever you and the family were cool with and could make happen, spend as much time as you want together. And so yeah, we did all kinds of stuff together. It was so much fun. I remember just anything we did, go to the Science Museum, or even just hang out around the neighborhood and ride scooters, or, you know, I had to make a bench with me once out of wood, and you know, even just having like sanding and doing different stuff, you know, doing different things. It was just so awesome, so rewarding, really good. But he ended up moving to Minneapolis, and if you move out of the city, you know, that the program is in, then you halt the match. The match stops, unless of course you want to continue it over that distance. But Minneapolis is pretty far away from me, so I don't think we could have pulled that off. That would have been a lot, too much driving. So I got matched with another youth, and that was not quite the same experience, but still pretty good. And so currently I'm actually without a match and thinking about starting up again, but I think it might be better to wait till after a few things happen this year and settle down. So, but yeah, what about you guys? How many of you are involved with your community that way? That's another big thing that I loved about that program. I was matched with a youth that didn't even live very far from me and went to the same the elementary school that is like within 9 blocks of my house. So just being able to directly interact with and help someone in my own community was huge for me. I don't know, I can't really put it into words other than, you know, it's just an incredibly rewarding program to be a part of. You get back 10 times what you put in to those kids. I mean, it's anyone that's been in the program would probably agree. I would assume would agree and would get it. But yeah, so anyways, let's see what you guys think about that. Brother-sister program, YMCA, even if you got something to say about the big brother, big sister program, whatever. It's all good. I'll catch you guys another time. Two-Wheel Ton. Check me out on Instagram. Be sure to like and subscribe. See ya.